CMUEagles.com with Central Methodist head women's basketball coach James Arnold as the Eagles get ready to travel to Olathe, Kansas on Saturday and take on the 12th-ranked MidAmerica Nazarene Pioneers with a 2 p.m. Central Time tip-off. Coach, two teams that have been towards the top of the league in recent years, just kind of like an old familiar rivalry, as it's becoming. Your general thoughts on the Pioneers heading into Saturday's game?
Well, since John's come into the league, they came in the same year we have, and they've done nothing but win championships and win a ton of games. So we could call it a rivalry because we've had some success, and all of our games, for the most part, have been very tight and very well played and very competitive, but we certainly haven't achieved what they have. They're in a rebuilding year, per se, but they're still very, very good. We use the term rebuilding only because they lost like 6 or 7 seniors last year, which as well as they're playing and as good as John is and his staff is, it's hard to work miracles when you lose that many seniors. But they're still very talented. Obviously, they've had some big wins this year. They're coming off a tough road loss, but we're going to have our hands full, especially there at their place.
Two players that do return for his squad that are familiar names for most coaches in this league, Darius Sprue and Megan Balcom, each 2 of their 3 leading scorers averaging double figures. What are some of the things that you've seen from them in the past, and maybe even has their game changed a little bit this year with the loss of so many people?
Yeah, the Balcom kid's been really good since she's been there, and so has Sprue, and that's the big difference because those kids came on early as freshmen, played a lot, have the Balcom kid single-handedly in our playoff game last year took us apart without all those other pieces. Kid can really play. She's handling a lot of the point guard duties for them now that some of the other kids have graduated. Still very, very dangerous as a shooter. She's their best three-point shooting threat. Still can go off the bounce and take you, and still a kid that we have to pay a special attention to. Sprue has continued to develop her game. Last year she added more of a mid-range game as opposed to just catching in the block and finishing. One of the best rebounders in the league. These kids are first-team, second-team all-performers in their career in this league for a reason. So, along with the new faces, those 2 kids are very familiar with success in this league and are kids that we're going to have to pay a special attention to and hopefully find a way to outwork and outplay.
MidAmerica Nazarene coming off an upset loss on Thursday at Peru State had a similar contest last season against Culver Stockton in which they were upset, but unlike last year and kind of unfamiliar to a John Lewis team, they had a big lead and Peru State was able to come back. Did you happen to see any things maybe on film that from Peru State that you think you might be able to use without giving away trade secrets?
Yeah, one of the first things is Peru State's got a lot of pieces. They haven't put it together necessarily for a lot of wins, but Peru State has a lot of talent, a lot of pieces. The other thing is the game was at Peru. It's a long trip for a lot of us and a tough place to play. Mid-Am had a good lead in that game, and Peru was able to cut into it. I thought they played with a lot of energy and effort in the second half, and I think it just got away from MNU a little bit. We've all been there. It does reconfirm to us that of all the years we've been in the league, there's definitely no gimmies. There's definitely no nights off. And like I said, big credit to Peru there. I know that MNU's disappointed. They had some free throws down the stretch to do some things. One of 2 things are going on. Hopefully, we could look at it that maybe they're reeling and they're having some struggles, or Peru's just awakened the giant that is number 12 in the country. Either way, we're going to have our hands full. What we do know is some of the things that Peru did in the second half are things that we've noticed over the years when we've had success against Mid-Am that we can also do. Mid-Am does a really great job of on-ball defense and really taking away your first option, but there's some opportunities for some success with penetration and kick. We need to take advantage of that. I thought we did a good job against Evangel of doing that, which allowed us to have some open shots and some easy looks at the basket. No matter what happens, it's going to take a ton of effort, a ton of energy, and a ton of enthusiasm to find a way to win there.
With your team riding the ship in conference play after a 4-game losing streak, you've now won 2 in a row. Do you sense that your team is on an uptick really at the right time heading into, on paper, what is the best team in the league?
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I think that, when we look at this team, we've lost 5 games, 4 of those by 5 points or less. We're a couple rebounds and a couple made baskets away from being in first place in the league. What that means to me is that we have a lot of talent, but we're missing a lot of the intangible things. And I think that as long as we continue to play with great passion, we're winning 50-50 balls, we're diving on the floor, we're quick to huddle, we're quick to handle criticism, we're quick to handle tough moments in the game and tough calls, I think we could be on the uptick. For me, going into this basketball game and every other basketball game, it's about making sure we come to work that day because, again, we have the talent. Ed Beach, who is the Evangel sports information guy, had a really good tweet the other day, and it really helped me share some things with our team. He said, Central Methodist is off to a tough start in league play despite leading the league in nearly every statistical category. Well, there's no statistical category for 50-50 balls, energy, heart, enthusiasm, hard work, those kind of things. So that's a perfect example to show that the talent is there, but we've got to find a way to put those intangibles with the talent. We've done so in the last 2 games, and I'm hopeful that we can continue to do so.
After shooting only 13 free throws in a 3-game stretch, it's when your team went 1-2. Your team was 16-19 last night. In 2 conference wins, your team has gotten back to the line a lot more, something that your squad has been known for doing in all the wins that you've piled up during your tenure here. Is that something you would stress to your team on Saturday, given the fact that you probably would try to get some of the Pioneers' better players maybe in foul trouble, taking advantage of that?
Well, MNU's always known for being really deep, and they're still very deep. They're a lot bigger this year than they've been in the past. I mean, they're huge. Sprue's even sliding out, some and playing kind of a small forward role. It would certainly help to get an over-the-back call, drive in and get there. You know, our big focus has been getting easy baskets. In the last couple games, we've certainly done a better job, and you and I have talked about it a ton. In our struggles, we've not been getting to the free throw line. We've been working on that in practice, talking about it, emphasizing it, and we're starting to reap the benefits of that. We have to continue to do that, continue to get better. We also are looking for easy baskets in the sense of getting out, denying, pressuring the ball, and getting some layups. And no coincidence that in the last 2 games and 3 of the last 4 that we've won, and even against Culver a little bit offensively, we were able to do that as well. So that's certainly part of our focus. It's always nice to get to the free throw line because you're getting easy baskets and getting them in foul trouble. But it's going to be very challenging to do so, but there are some things that I think we can do that can give us an advantage.
Final question. Bell Family Arena, always a tough place to play for any team to go in and win. What are some of the keys that your team has to focus on in order to hopefully pull off a victory at MidAmerica Nazarene?
You know, we've had some success there over the years. In fact, we've not ever beat them at home, but we've beat them twice over there. I think when we have played well over there, we've taken advantage of going off the bounce, using some athleticism, trying to find ways to put them on an island defensively. We're going to have to do that as well. But just like we said earlier in the interview, we've got to win the intangible game. Statistically, I think we're as good as anybody in the country when it comes to shooting the basketball and potentially rebounding the basketball. Now that Jesse Ellis is turning the corner as a point guard and we've added Dejanay Hale, I think we're as good talent-wise as a lot of teams in the country. We've got to find a way to continue to bottle the intangible things, sprinting to huddles, helping people up, playing with great enthusiasm, playing with a smile on our face, all those things. Tough challenge when we go over there to Mid-Am, but great opportunity. I'm excited about it.